And a very good evening to you folks. This is Departures Local 107.3 FM in the Greater St. John area. And I'm very, very happy tonight to have Miss Cathy Hutch with me. Hello, Cathy.
Hello, Wayne. How are you doing?
Thanks for coming into the studio. It's nice to have you here.
It's great to be here. Thanks.
So I'm going to kick off the show with Cathy Hutch's CD, Not Going Back. The title track, Not Going Back. I know you'll enjoy this. Stick with me. It's going to be a great hour talking music tonight, live in the studio. Very nice. So that was Cathy Hutch, Not Going Back, and Cathy's here in the studio tonight of Departures, and I totally appreciate you coming in, Cathy, and we have a ton of things to talk about. We've talked off air. I want to start with Not Going Back. That's the title track of this CD that I have in my hand, and I got to tell you, there's a lot of energy out of that song, and you told me off air that's where it all started, and I'd like to talk about that. Let's talk about Not Going Back.
Okay, well, basically, 6 years ago, I wasn't a singer, and but I have a very profoundly autistic daughter named Christy, and I was in a crisis situation with her, and my doctor put me off work, and at the time I was playing drums in a couple of blues bands in Fredericton, and so the doctor knew that I played in these bands, and she said, listen, you know, you've got to get rid of some stress, go home and beat the crap out of the drums, do whatever you have to do, but you know, you've got to get rid of some of this. And but when I went home, I just found it was my guitar that I was turning to, not the drums. And so I just picked that up, and I really started, you know, getting into writing and doing some singing for myself. And what happened was the lead singer for the George Street Blues Project, which is one of the bands that I was playing drums for, she approached me about accompanying her on the guitar at a fundraiser for Chrysalis House in Fredericton.
Okay.
And I didn't know what that was, so I said, well, what's this all about, Mary? And she said, well, it's a shelter for homeless young women at risk in the community, and most of them are dealing with a lifetime of abuse, and you know, they've got drug addiction issues, and you know, some of them have turned to prostitution to support their habits, etc. So this is a chance for them to turn their lives around and you know, kind of get a new start in life. And at the time I knew somebody on the West Coast that was going through this same kind of scenario, a young woman and subject to abuse and blah blah blah. So I thought, geez, you know, I want to write a song for this, but I don't want to sing it. Mary, you can sing it. So I wrote this song called Not Going Back, and I played it for her, and she said, okay, 3 things. First of all, I didn't know you could sing. Second of all, that's a great song. And third, you're singing it. And I said, oh, no, I'm not. I said, no, you know, I don't mind being a drummer and being in the back of the stage where nobody can really see me. But no, I don't think I want to be on stage front and center. But she said, oh yeah, you got to do it. And I did it, and I didn't know if I was going to pass out or throw up. But thank God I didn't. I got through it. And so it just kind of went from there. Other people heard the song, and meanwhile I was writing more songs and trying to advocate for my daughter to try to find a place for her to go. She spent almost 6 months in the hospital in the psych ward with nowhere for her to go because she is profoundly autistic, and she was an adult, and there was nothing for her, nowhere for her to go. And she was too violent for me to bring home. So it was a real crisis, and you know, so I was trying to resolve this, and meanwhile, music was my salvation. That was what was getting me through.
Absolutely.
And so I guess a few months later, I did a demo of, I think, 15 of my original tunes.
Right.
And J.R. Vautour heard this demo. He called me and he said, I'd like to meet with you. So I said, okay, sure. And he said, you need to go to Nashville. And I just looked at him and I said, are you crazy? Me? Go to Nashville? And I said, why? You know, why would I need to do that? And he said, well, you've got some good songs, and if you want to pitch them to established artists,
right,
that's where you've
That's
got
where
to
it's
go.
happening.
That's where it's happening. And if you want to be taken seriously as a songwriter, which I assume you do, then that's what you have to do. And I said, right, but how much is this going to cost me? And how do I do it? And
You know, that's a great question. How do you do it? As you know,
Yeah.
for folks that are just starting out, it's very daunting, right? I mean,
Oh.
you can sit in your basement and write your songs and play them to friends, but to really take that next step is a daunting task. So, did they provide advice for you? Did they provide a roadmap, or did you just find your own way in the end?
well, I bought a roadmap from him because he is a producer also.
Right.
I mean, he's a great country singer, songwriter, and he goes to Nashville every year and he works on tunes down there and he records. And he's also a producer. And that's a large part of his livelihood. But I just, as I got researching, I thought, you know, I can't afford to do it this way.
Right.
But I will start my own business, and I will try to find a way to get there. But
Right
I
on.
think I'll try to do it my own way, and hopefully it won't cost me quite so much.
I mean, in the end, you ended up with a beautiful CD.
Well, you know, it was all serendipity. I mean, it really was, because I was introduced, I went to BDC, I went to Enterprise New Brunswick, and they put me in touch with the right people to talk to. And I cashed in my RSPs, I took out a bank loan, and through the development officer that I was speaking to, he said, listen, I met this guy named B.J. McKelvey, and he's a singer-songwriter, and he does contemporary Christian music. And he's also a studio engineer, and he lived and worked in Nashville for 5 years, and I was talking to him about you. And he said, listen, if she's any good, I'll take her to Nashville. Because
Wow.
he said, I know it. And he said, I know the people down there, and I can probably get it done cheaper. So, you know, I called him. We spoke on the phone for an hour, and he said, well, listen, I got to meet you. I'm coming over. I said, okay, great. Come on over. So I played a few songs. He said, yeah, listen, I'll take you. He said, have you thought about where you want to go, where you want to record? And I said, listen, I've been doing a lot of research. I want to go to Omni Sound Studios. And he said, okay. He said, I've got goosebumps. And I said, why? He said, because that's where I recorded my CDs. And he said, the owner, Steve Tibbetts, a real good buddy of mine. And he said, I can get you in there.
Well, that's too
You know,
cool.
for probably cheaper. And he said, I'll get you the A-list of Nashville musicians. And I said, like, I don't even know what that means.
But I'll take you up on your
But I'll
offer.
take it up. So, yeah, and he did. He got me down there for a lot cheaper. And the other really phenomenal thing that happened that night was he happened to notice a picture of my daughter, Christy. And he kind of looked at me with this questioning look in his eye. And I said, that's my daughter, Christy, and she has autism. And he said, oh, he said, I have a little boy with autism. And he said,
So there's a connection.
yeah, and he said, have you ever thought about writing a song about it? And I said, oh my God, BJ, I started a song this summer, and I've got some lyrics, but I didn't get any further. He said, well, I'm in the same boat. He said, I've got a title and nothing else. He said, what do you think of us getting together and writing a song about it for our kids, and then trying to, you know, recording it together on your CD,
Right.
and trying to raise money for autism, for research, for whatever. And,
It's kind of cool, this, you know, serendipitous connections that you make when you start putting yourself out there, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. It came together so beautifully. And I mean, yeah, we did. We got together. We did that was September 8th, 2007.
Right.
November 11th, we were in Nashville recording with our song written,
Yeah.
and we called it, or he came up with the title, I'm in Here. And
I think that's
perfect.
an excellent title.
It was so perfect. I got goosebumps when I heard it, and the first time we heard the song after we recorded it, we just broke down crying our eyes out in the studio. It's like, oh my God, this is so amazing, this is so profound, you know.
And it's nice when you write a song and it comes out the way that you envisioned, or it means what you wanted it to mean at the end. Because as a songwriter, you probably experience, you know, you write some things that don't quite work out, but it sounds like with this one, you hit it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you know, I've got a song on the CD that's fluff. It's, you know, I'm a Fool for You, and it's just a fun little tune, and I love playing it. But it's fluff.
Right.
But for me, the real bonus, the real joy of writing a song is when you can write something that reaches in and grabs somebody's heart.
Right.
And kind of twists it sideways a little bit.
Yeah.
Yanks on it.
Absolutely.
And, you know, that's what the beauty is. That's my goal when I write a song, is I want to touch somebody's life in a meaningful way. You know, not going back. It's all about somebody breaking free of that cycle of abuse and saying, I'm not going to do this anymore, I'm not putting up with it, and you're not going to control me anymore. And so that's what that's all about, you know. And so I'm in here, obviously, is for me, it's for my daughter. And the last track that I'm Not Afraid Anymore, I wrote that the night before I went to Nashville. I was terrified. Terrified. I thought, what am I doing? I am nobody from nowhere. I'm not even a singer, for God's sake. What am I doing? And
Well, you are now.
yeah, I mean, so I wrote this song like in about an hour, because I wanted one more fast song for the CD.
Yeah, okay.
Right. So, you know, I only had 9 tunes, and 5 of them were slow, and I thought, okay, no, I've got to even this up. So, and I thought, well, you know what? This is all meant to be. This has all happened for a reason.
Absolutely.
The universe has caused this to happen, and by God, I'm going with it, and I'm not afraid anymore. I'm just going to embrace this and go with it and see where it takes me. So, there you go.
So you have your guitar with you,
I do.
and I'd love for you to play us a tune. And do you have something picked out that you want to play as a live?
Sure, I can, because this album, obviously, because it was recorded in Nashville, is quite country, but to be honest, I'm more of a rock and roll lover.
All right.
So, this is my tribute to my rock and roll roots, and it's a song actually about the music industry called You Don't... Oh. I think it's called You Don't Know Me. I can't even think of it.
Well, I got to tell you, Cathy, I get out playing live, and I have to think about the names of my songs,
Actually,
because the names mean a lot more to other people.
Yeah.
And
No,
yeah.
it's called Know It All.
Know It All. All right.
Yeah.
And I'll control the volume, so hopefully we get a good.
Yeah, because I kind of belt this out. You
All
know?
right.
It's just one of those ones.
All right. So live in the studio, Cathy Hutch.
Know It All.
Know It All. Take it away.
Well, here I go again, defending myself, trying to pretend that I agree with anything you say. Well, it won't matter, know it all anyway. 'Cause you think time's gonna change my mind. You're sure you know it so well, you'd be surprised to find I've got a story to tell. You think I'm just a waste of time, set me up for the fall. I know you're wasting mine, 'cause you don't know me, you don't know me at all. You don't know me. What's it gonna be? Oh, I'll go the distance. Oh yeah, you're gonna see that I've got a dream know me, you don't know me that well. You don't know me. You think you know it all.
Very nice. That's Cathy Hutch live in studio, local 107.3 FM. This is local 107.3 FM. Joining the studio by Cathy Hutch. And Cathy, that was awesome. You really,
Thank you.
yeah, you really belted that out. And you're in the 4 years I've been here at CFMH, local 107.3. That's the first time I had somebody come into the studio and play live. So that's totally
Cool.
fun. So I'm gonna have to do this more often.
Yeah.
So in the background, I have your CD on, playing low. It's called Not Going Back, and we're going to try and get that in the play box. And so that last song, that's a great teaser for folks because that's not actually on this CD, am I correct?
That's correct. Yeah, I wrote that, I guess about a year after I recorded the CD.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So it's for the next CD,
It's for the next one, absolutely.
which, and we were kind of talking about this, you have some songs written.
I do have a few songs written, and
But-
I need to write more.
Yeah, finding that time to write is hard, and I was looking at your schedule online. I mean, you're a busy musician. You're playing with the band. You play solo. What do you have coming up? Like, what's going on in?
In the next little while.
Yeah.
Well, tomorrow night I am going to be at Vito, or no, sorry, not Vito's. I'm going to be at O'Leary's.
Oh, very nice.
Tomorrow night doing a solo show.
And have you been up there before?
Never. This is my first.
Okay, right on.
Yeah, from 11 till 2. Oh my God.
It's a late night, huh?
You know, for we old folk.
Yeah. So that'd be you're in the acoustic kind of parlor at the top of O'Leary's.
Yes.
Right on.
Yeah, I'm going to be up there. And then Saturday night, my bassist and I will be in Harvey Station at the Lougheed Pub.
Okay, right on.
Awesome.
Is that a fun venue?
It is a very fun venue. It's actually one of my favorites. It's a very intimate setting.
Yeah.
The people in Harvey are just so great. I love playing there. I always have a blast.
Wow, right on.
And they're there to listen to the music. They're there because they love the music.
Right.
And they really take part, and you know, you often get people singing along and you know, pulling out the lighters and holding them up.
Very nice.
You know,
So,
it's a great
if I go
time.
to a Cathy Hutch live show, what am I going to see? You're going to play some stuff off your album, but you're going to do some covers as well.
I do, yes. Some of my original material. I do a lot of covers, mostly classic rock and roll.
Right on.
You know, the good stuff from the 60s and the 70s and, you know, kind of my era. But it was great music, you know, the Beatles, the Eagles, the Bee Gees, you name it,
Yeah, right
Moody
on.
Blues, all of that good stuff.
On your acoustic?
On my acoustic,
Right on.
yes, and I also do a little bit of country, a little bit of blues. You know, I like a lot of different kinds of music, so I try to throw a little bit of everything in.
So, and you said you're a drummer.
I
right?
am a drummer,
And
yes.
you know, the drummers I know, and you included now, that's what they do. You know, I've played with lots of drummers over the years that say, "Oh, you need a bass player on this song? Oh, I'll pick up the bass. Oh, you need a guitar here? I'll pick it up." So I think I'm seeing that's what, and they all say, "Oh, I'm a drummer. Oh, I'm a drummer."
Yeah.
But yeah, I know. I've been around long enough to know the trick of this. So tomorrow night, O'Leary's, 11 till 2. Wow.
Saturday night, Harvey. Next Thursday night, a week from tonight, I am at Vito's.
Oh, very nice. Vito's in the KV.
Yes.
Excellent, and
Yeah.
beautiful venue up there to play at. So that's
It is.
nice.
Yes, yeah, and I was just there for the first time last month.
Okay, yeah.
And had a great time, really great time. So I'm looking forward to being back there again.
So, and these are Cathy Hutch solo, but what about the band? Are you playing with the band still? Like, do you?
Yes, it's harder to get the gigs for the band because it's that old money thing, right?
Yeah,
You know?
absolutely.
And my band, the members are mostly in Fredericton area. But it's actually the nucleus of the band is the trio. And that's my lead guitar player, Dave Nightingale, who also plays with the Downtown Blues Band from Fredericton.
Dave Nightingale, what a great stage name that is.
Oh, and he's amazing. He is so amazing. And John Rosengren on bass, also a phenomenal musician. These are Minto guys, right? You know, they grew up in Minto, and I don't know what it is about the water there, but it seems to produce a lot of fabulous musicians from that area. But I love these guys. They're just a joy to play with, and they're my best buds. They're, you know,
too cool.
Yeah.
And so you're busy, but you said you'd be happy if you were busier.
Always.
Yeah?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is what I love to do more than anything in the world. You know?
Absolutely.
I love music. I love to play. And for me to be on stage, especially when I've got the guys with me, it's like, it's just this total nirvana, you know. It really is. It's a whole other world, and I'm just transported to absolute joy.
Well, I was in absolute joy with the last song, and you have a couple more that you picked out you can do live for us?
Sure, I can do one. I mean, this...
I'll put you on the spot here. And
okay.
here she is, Cathy Hutch, live in studio.
Thank you. This song is... well, I guess sooner or later everybody has to say goodbye to somebody they love for whatever reason, and so I wrote this song last year called To Say Goodbye. Gonna sit beside you, just stay here for a while. Breaks my heart to see you cry. My hands are shaking as I brush the tears away. We both know there's nothing we can say that will make this go away. Oh, I believe that God has a plan we can't yet understand. But some days we laugh, some days we cry. It's not for us to question why. You're the one who's leaving, or the one who's left behind. There's just no easy way to say goodbye. Left behind. It always hurts to say goodbye. It's so hard not to question why when someone leaves us or our loved ones die. And it doesn't matter which side of it you're on. You're the one who's left behind.
This is Departures, Local 107.3 FM. I'm joined in the studio by Cathy Hutch, singer-songwriter from... Where do I say you're from, Cathy?
I was born in St. John, New Brunswick.
Ah, very nice. And I see you're playing lots in the St. John area. And it's a nice time to be a singer-songwriter in St. John because there's a few venues around now that folks are playing at. I see, I mean, you're at O'Leary's, you're at Vito's, lots of places. And I want to put a good plug in for my friends at Whitewater. There's a CD release tomorrow night at the 3 Mile. So
Awesome.
Lots of music happening. And Local 107.3, of course, is happy to promote local artists and then have you on the air and talk to local artists. And one thing I noticed is, after talking to you a bit, you have a really great online presence going on too. I mean, you're on Twitter, and you have a Facebook page going on. You know, you have lots of things happening. And how did all that come about? Is that just...
That's all thanks to Mark Savadont of Allison Street.
Right on. And
Web Productions.
And it's, you know...
Web design, yes.
Right on. Because it's important stuff, right? Like, as an artist, if you don't have that online profile, it's tough, right? You need to have that stuff. You need to be doing all that. So.
Yes, absolutely.
And so we're filming this live,
Mm-hmm.
and we're gonna edit some footage and brand it with the local 107.3 FM logo and get it out there. And so if folks, Cathy, if folks want to find you online, what's the easiest way? Like, where do they go?
Probably my website, which is www.cathyhutch.ca.
Cathyhutch.ca. Now that's pretty easy.
Mm-hmm.
No slashes and this and that, and cathyhutch.ca. Excellent. So, and what can they do there? Can folks buy your music there, or is that just kind of a look and feel kind of website? Or
I think actually there is a connection. I do have CDs through CD Baby, through iTunes, etc.
Right on.
If they go onto my website, they're going to see my bio, obviously, and I'm also a photographer. I do nature photography.
Oh.
That's the other half of my business. It's Hutchinson Music and Photo, and so you can actually look at some of my photography on
Oh,
the
wow.
website. And
Well, it's funny because
yeah.
I visited your website,
Mm-hmm.
and I went through and I thought, oh, there's a lot of photos here for a musician. So now this all kind of makes
Yeah.
sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
So that last song that you played live,
Right.
very nice.
Thank
And
you.
that is also not on this album.
No, this is it's actually the newest song that I've written. And, you know, it just came about. I was sitting feeling kind of melancholy one day, thinking about, you know, everybody goes through loss in their life. And I was kind of thinking about my dad and, you know, just relationships that you come and go. But it can be as simple as a best friend moving away. You know, when you have to say goodbye to somebody, it's always painful. And, you know, so it's just, that's where that came from.
So when you write these songs,
Mm-hmm.
is it is it a relief when you sing them live? Do you revisit these things, or what does it do for you? What does that art do for you?
Oh Lord, yes. I think I live every song that I sing. You know, I'm there. I'm transported there. So, you know, it's I don't know. I think musicians as a breed overall are very passionate people, very deeply feeling, and you know, perhaps a little more sensitive sometimes than we should be. But yeah, for me, I live a song that I'm playing. If it's a happy song, well, hey, I feel happy. If it's a sad song, well, then I'm right there.
Yeah, okay.
You know. So, but yeah, and then a couple of years ago, I was visiting my sister who lived on Grand Manan at the time. And I had my guitar with me, and she was at work, so I had the place all to myself. And I'm looking at this beautiful vista out her windows at the ocean, the water. And so I start fantasizing about summer, because it was, you know, a bitter, cold February day. And I'm fantasizing about being on my motorcycle in the summertime, because I love my bike. And so I wrote this song, and it's just an instrumental, Celtic kind of feeling thing called Freewheeling.
Right on. And are you going to do it for us now?
Well, if you'd like me to, sure.
I would absolutely
I'll throw it at you.
And I'll control the volumes.
Okay.
That's my role in the show. Cathy Hutch live in studio. This is an instrumental called
Freewheeling.
Free Will. All right, well that has some energy to it. That's not a sad song.
That's
I pictured myself on a motorbike when I was listening to that. This is local 107.3 FM. I'm your host Wayne Hansen, and this is Departures. And joined in the studio tonight with Cathy Hutch, and Cathy got this beautiful song, and it's called "I'm in Here." It's out on a single.
Yes.
It's also on your album "Not Going Back," and folks can find it on YouTube and wherever they want to look.
Mm-hmm.
So quickly, your album, you take it to live shows, you sell it there. Where else can people pick this up?
Morris Music has some copies, I believe, still, and I think Tony's Music Box in Fredericton. But yeah, online, and as I said, I always have some with me at my shows.
Right on.
Mm-hmm.
And you have lots of shows. Check her out, cathyhutch.ca.
Yes.
.ca, perfect. Well, Cathy, thanks for coming in. Let's get us out on a song here. This is called "I'm Not Afraid Anymore." I appreciate you coming in, and hope to see a live show here shortly. So
Thank you so much, Wayne. It's been a pleasure.
And I'm Not Afraid Anymore, Cathy Hutch, local 107.3.